Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Forza Horizon 5 to take a look at the latest new addition to this game, which is this Volkswagen ID 4. As usual, to get hold of this new addition, all you have to do is complete 20 points in the Autumn Festival playlist, which I've done by doing the trial, a seasonal championship because I wanted to win the returning DS23, which for some reason is gifted to us in this rather horrible somewhere between beige and brown colour, which is slightly strange because it actually comes in some quite nice colours. There's a green, a blue, a black, a silver, and a white, so I'm going to paint it in this rather nice green colour. It does have advanced painting options as well, so that you can paint all the top of your roof in a different colour if you would like. Photo challenge, and of course the monthly rivals that I did at the beginning of the series. As you probably already know by now, the Volkswagen ID range are their electric vehicles. This particular one produces a rather precise 201 horsepower and 310 torques. For some reason though, it's rear-wheel drive, which is rather unusual for a modern electric vehicle, and of course being an electric vehicle, it weighs more than a small house. It's over 2.1 tonnes. This gives it an overall rating of C-Class 527 here in Forza Horizon 5. I have actually already driven this new edition in one of the monthly rivals events at the beginning of the series, and found it had a slightly limiting top speed of only 102 miles per hour, which was particularly irritating driving it again here with the log straight on my custom route. This top speed though is plenty in the real world for what isn't a performance car of any kind, but it is slightly disappointing in the game. I do actually find it rather strange that they decided to add the ID 4 when they could have much more easily reintroduced the ID R from Horizon 4. As well as being easier, I think that would have been a more popular decision, despite it being a recycled vehicle rather than a new one. It may be that there wasn't a possibility of licensing that car again, but it is in the Crew Motorfest, so clearly some games are managing to include that much more exciting Volkswagen. Anyway, hopefully in the upgrade shop we're able to make this thing as exciting as that car, so let's go and take a look at the customization and upgrade options for this car here in Horizon 5. So then, let's take a look at the paint options. There are several manufacturer colours that aren't very interesting. There's a blue, a white, a red, a grey and a black, so what I'm going to do is paint it in my usual purple colour. There are though advanced painting options. You may remember the roof was black when we started, so we can paint that in a different colour. Although, yeah, given there's black mirrors, I feel like black's the only colour that really actually works for that. Being an electric vehicle, there aren't loads of options in the upgrade shop. We can upgrade the motor and battery, giving the car 402 horsepower, or we can completely swap the motor, giving 671 horsepower. And if we do that and then come and upgrade the motor, we can give it 1,147 horsepower. We can also, of course, all-wheel drive swap it, which it probably should be, to be honest. Usual Forza aero. The rear aero looks particularly ridiculous because it sort of goes over the roof in a strange sort of way. And apart from that, it's kind of as you'd expect. There's your usual range of tyre compounds. You can increase your tyre width, and you can also increase track width, which will make the car sit slightly better, I suppose. You can also change your driveline and diff in that section, and upgrade your brakes, suspension, anti-roll bars, chassis and weight in this section, which will bring it down to 1,861, which is a reasonable saving. As you may be aware, this car is a little bit broken in this game, to say the least. It can be dropped into D-Class whilst putting out north of 1,000 horsepower, and has taken several world records, or at least placed very highly, on Rivals leaderboards. To see quite how ludicrous it is, to steal a word from Tesla, I applied a tune from KCNA12 and went to give it a go in Rivals, and after just 6 laps I was into the top 50 on the leaderboard around Cathedral Circuit. So I went out for another 6 laps, after which I found I was 30th on the leaderboard, surrounded by other ID 4 times. I did go out again, and managed to improve by a further 1/10 of a second or so, putting me up into 29th place on the leaderboard, but I was struggling to improve further at this point, pushing the car a little bit too hard and invalidating multiple lap times from scraping walls, which is quite easy to do around the cathedral circuit, given quite how many tight walled sections there are. I also found that on acceleration the back would step out a little bit unpredictably at times, which really didn't help when I started pushing the car harder. Quite often the back would just sort of tap the wall a little bit too hard. So that was that for my rival's endeavours. Safe to say that this car is indeed quite ridiculously fast. Even if my time itself wasn't the fastest, there are a whole string of super quick times set in this id 4. And that is going to do it for a very first look at the brand new addition to Forza Horizon 5 of the Volkswagen id 4. Stock, it may seem like quite a boring electric car that's very heavy, which it is and has a very limited top speed, but in this game it is quite broken, hence why it's breaking records left, right and centre, and why even I managed to set quite a good time in it with this tune applied. It is just ridiculous that you can get that much power in D-Class, possibly a bit of an oversight from the developers. Well, it is. But anyway, overall, that means it's actually been quite fun, if particularly stupid, driving this thing in here on Horizon 5. That, though, is going to be all for today's video. Do let me know your thoughts on the Volkswagen id 4, but for now, that's going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.